deal with a lot of that pressure.
And the truth is, he's been a rock for KRU the majority of the year. To be honest, even if you go to some of the maybe poor performing iterations of this roster, Shy has been that guy for them many times. And so he's going to have to do it again. Here on the Vice, we talked about all of the pressure that's going to be at his feet. Whether or not he can handle it is yet to be seen. We might have another slight delay. This time I'm being told it is gear. So, yeah. We did take a look at comps. I do want to get your thoughts on this too, because Shy can shoot. Right? Yes. We've seen him with the op. We know he's capable with it. What are your thoughts on him running the Vice here instead of the Chamber?
I think it has to be the fact that, you know, you can deal with a lot of that aggression. I think it's really, first of all, they already ran it before, but I think specifically in this matchup against 100 Thieves, with the way that 100 Thieves like to play their defense, that wall isolating Asuna potentially, right? That's huge. You need to be able to get him away from his squad and punish him for the aggressive pushes that he does on the defensive side. And Shy, like I said, he has to be that type of guy on the attacking side, right? And then on defense, you're gonna have to look, whether that's Storm, and I mean, Vice is probably the best stall character right now in the meta, right? In terms of Sentinel.
So strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough to circumvent all of that Sentinel utility. So yeah, Vice is super strong. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, but putting Cryo, if you've got a player of Cryo's caliber on your roster, you better be damn sure you're putting on an agent like Chamber when Chamber is viable. And we've seen the Chamber prevalence increase in the seed. We are finally getting started. KRU on the attack side, a heavy lean towards B, and this already looks like disaster. You see the breach stun line set up? Asuna takes an early peek, and then they just dump utility. How do you even fight your way through this? The fact that they were even able to get one in exchange is impressive.
Yeah, and they're still going to try to brute force their way onto this B site. There's 3 members still here. Kesne is so low, Doug.
Boostio having to take a step back, play behind some of that utility as Xander playing behind the smoke. Holds the line, drops 2. Boostio gets the last couple on his own. That's a great pistol for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, a great pistol for 100 Thieves, but for the side of KRU, you already got all this pressure early on. You know all this setup utility is there, and you still decide to hold W on this B side of the map. I feel like maybe slow things down a little bit, not try to brute force your way in. Xander found that impeccable timing running through that smoke.
Yeah, that certainly helped a ton. I mean, him getting the spacing on that, but I mean, you saw the trap that was set up from the very beginning, and so you imagine if you're KRU, you're going to want to start to play at the rest of the map, and this is obviously an eco for them, but already seeing a different approach, a heavy focus on Dish.
Yeah, and for 100 Thieves, heavy focus on a main. Way different than what we saw in the pistol round. And yeah, KRU, this is a very common strat on the attacking side when you do lose the pistol round. Just try to farm up as many orbs as you can. That's why you saw some light B main control being taken, but this is that proactivity from 100 Thieves, pushing all the way through A. This is something that they did against EG, basically bullying them. And of course, it's Asuna at the forefront.
I'm out of here.
Boostio able to deal a little bit of damage as well. A couple members spotted. The Singer at that distance is tough, man. But the Ghost will clean it up. Is he at 6 kills already? Yeah. Hey, he's 2 pips off of his ult.
Yeah, that could be huge into this round. If they take control of A main again, gather that orb onto him. KRU are going to have to play a little bit more reactive on this first gun round for them.
Reloading.
We get a little bit of that replay of these shots being hit. Boostio popping off is a good thing for him too, because I feel like he's a player that starts off kind of slow in a lot of these series that we've seen so far. But the impact that this man had on that run for EG, I mean, he was taking the craziest timings, hitting every shot because he was confident in doing so, right? It's something that we haven't really been able to see so much on this 100 Thieves roster, and I think if he gets confident early on, it could be really good signs for 100 Thieves to close this map out. What a pick from Xander on Kesne early on.
I mean, the Des was talking about how good Boostio has been, how it seems like he's back to his fragging ways, and it certainly seems to be paying off. A lot of focus towards the western side of the map right now. And again, it's in bunches, man. Just when it seems like crewmate found an opening, 100 Thieves doubles down, invests in the same space. And it's just a brawl.
Yeah, it's just fighting fire with fire right now for 100 Thieves and KRU. But finally, KRU decide to slow things down a little bit, understanding that they do have the weapon advantage. But here is the problem, is that it was a 4-1 setup from the start of the round for 100 Thieves. And now they're going to be funneled into Cryocell's op. Yeah, he's an A main. He's not going to beat them Dish, but he has a trip to worry about his back. And once he hears all this utility being used on the actual A site, it's going to be hard to deal with him.
Yeah, so it's interesting where he's playing here, because on defense, you regularly 4-run. Right? Like, you're going to leave a lane open. You have to. There's really no way to cover it. But a lot of the things that you do to cover that is you leave the chamber trip in one of those open lanes, but he's playing alongside his chamber trip. He's not going to get threatened, it doesn't look like, but he has no way out.
That was a fast trade from Mazzino, seriously, because that could have gone really, really bad for KRU.
Yeah.
If he gets that pick and gets out, all of a sudden this is unwinnable for KRU, or at least it would feel like. Now they're able to set up in this post plant, and yeah, there's utility from the side of 100 Thieves.
All missiles away.
But Melzer picks up that operator. He's juggling back to that Vandal. Still a molly to play with, a flash from Mazzino. That fault line might get back up too by the time 100 Thieves get on site.
You imagine the timing is close. And for 100 Thieves,
no smokes.
You kinda gotta speed up here. There's the molly off the tap. He's gonna buy a little bit of time here, waiting for the start out from Dish, but it's not there. There's the fault line you were looking for as well. EU has gone untouched by it. They're baiting into this. Tries to play anti, hits a filthy shot on the first, but Melzer's there to save the day and get KRU their first round.
Yeah, but it was costly. It was tough. I mean, you're trying to fight into the main pack of the defense of 100 Thieves, and when the trades are even in a round like that, which is 100 Thieves bonus, it doesn't, yeah, that's fast.
Yep.
Doesn't really set yourself up. Wow, that could have been a collat in any other world, right?
I thought it was gonna be.
Unlucky, just an inch off.
Also, note here, we were talking about Boosty getting really close to having his ult online, and he still is. He's just one off, but Mazzino has his online round 4.
Yeah, he clutched up in that last round. Getting a lot of those good trades, closing it out. A main control again. Boostio will be able to grab this A main orb, get that ult online, and look at the difference in pace from KRU. They're waiting for an aggressive push. Yeah, it's not happening towards Arcade, but if it was, they would have punished Asuna surely. Cryo.
You lose.
As sick as ever.
Clean out of it. Still playing in the range of his tether too, so he can confidently stay and maybe even get another before swinging back out. They're investing the Rolling Thunder. He gets his second. He TPs away. Dies to the missile though.
What good prep from Adverso. Understanding where that chamber TP would be based off of where Cryo was playing. If Xander can get the spray down, could be pretty bad, but can't connect. And Boostio, he only has a sheriff. He was able to gather that orb, so he does have Breach ult online. Will upgrade a gun as well right here, but Shy is going to meet him here.
He's going to spot him too. I don't know if he's expecting a second. EU might be able to cover him, but if he's slow on this, he's going to miss the window. Trade comes through. Shy now dead.
One enemy remaining.
Crispy out from Mazzino. Xander's left in a 1v2.
Mazzino is so fast.
Yeah, again, time is short. Mazzino has been, I mean, surgical with it already, but Xander's got way too many angles to cover and just not enough time to solve it all on the fly.
I guess Mazzino was right. He understood what went wrong against EG, because
he won line.
He's looking different right now in the server. I mean, a lot of his kills, yeah, he's only sitting at 5, but they're so quick. Like, I mean, just instant. And KRU are up back into this mix. I mean, making it even right now and putting 100 Thieves on the back end, the economy is so bad. Look at that intuition, understanding there's only a couple spots where this chamber can TP back to. That's really quick thinking.
That's really, yeah, to be able to catch on replay too is very nice.
Jeez.
Knowing where he was going to be and knowing where that was going to land. Quick into the 5th round we go. A light buy for 100 Thieves, given their woes in the last couple of rounds. But they're all, I mean, 4 of them are B.
Yeah, and the problem is that trap setup was too far back. Everyone's so close and personal from the side of KRU. Shy gets another first blood.
Asuna's now down as well.
Last player standing.
Yeah, they're just getting picked apart.
Just dismantling the defense right now, not getting a single body drop from the side of KRU. That was very clean, getting ahead of all that utility. Right now, the calling is looking really good from the side of KRU. And 100 Thieves, I mean, if you lose this next round, I'm expecting a quick timeout. You're not going to be able to keep this up. So far, KRU only had to deal with that cryo cells op on the bonus. Let's see how they decide to game plan against it this time. It's kind of obvious too from the side of 100, from this for KRU, right? If you see the pack of 100 Thieves somewhere, it's pretty obvious that the chamber's going to be at the opposite side of the map.
Right. Oh, hello aggression. Oh, they're all stunned out, but the counter stun causes problems.
Spike down. B.
EU clean with it onto Kesnet.
Right there.
That was the Neon ult too. Now for what? Shy's investing his ult here. This is a 4v2. He's gonna have to win out and find value out of this ult. Yeah,
Yeah, a little crazy. We wish you saved that for the following round. I mean, your economy's been looking good. Stuff hasn't really gotten out of hand for you too much. Wanting to clutch a 2v4 with an ult like that might come back to do some damage.
Yeah, you got me
on.
there.
That's tough. That's tough. And now, with the spike being down, I mean, Shy's left alone. He has looked good so far in stopping some of that early aggression. I mean, he punished Asuna one time already, which is a lot more than what I feel like EG was able to do. But with him being found out right here and being so low HP, there's just no shot.
So what are you expecting for 100 Thieves on the other side of this? So you think they're going to dial up more of these like early, fast crunches and set plays off the spawn?
I think considering how costly this round went and the fact that their money isn't looking too good when you look at their money right now and you look at the ults that they have online, yeah, I think it's going to be some type of aggressive play, some type of Brim ult, Neon ultimate crunch, whether that's bottom side or top side. I think because they fought top side this last round, they'll probably pivot back to the bottom and just guess if someone's there and try to enable cryo, try to get this operator online, try to see if he can get put in the right spot to punish some of these crew weaponry, because I mean the economy is not in their favor anymore. Yes, they're going to win this round. You only save 2 guns.
I do think though too. I mean that's, I don't know. One of the things I like about Fracture and watching Fracture in a professional setting is, even if you do invest a lot of time and a lot of personnel into taking away one lane with a lot of like a crunch at the very beginning of the round, even if there's nobody there, you've taken one of those lanes away, and that's so valuable when you got 4 lanes you have to figure out on defense. Yeah,
if you don't have map control on the defensive side, this map feels terrible to play.
Right.
You're going to get baited on every rotation.
Right, yeah.
You're not going to have the right set pieces, the right utility, the right site to delay, and then you're playing retake, and you can't. I mean, retaking on this map, to say the least, is so difficult. So you see the Brim is set up here. Xander and Asuna were waiting. If the jump spot had seen a main pack of players, they would have jumped the gun on that. But I like KRU's approach right now. It's very methodical, very slow, not wanting to fall into any trap, playing the top side, taking dish. And they're going to hear the chamber trip here. They understand that Cryo most likely has this operator. Maybe a break of a trip, maybe a pivot somewhere else.
Oh,
a bait out of an ult. Oh, but it separates everybody.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to flood out onto the site.
Oh, no.
I thought they might just freeze on the other side of Dish, but instead they try to funnel out, and they funnel out into 100 Thieves.
Half in, half out approach. Shy's going to have to do a miracle here, taking out Cryo.
I mean, he's been called for miracles more than once. Already.
Just not confident enough to take that beat. Asuna will clean him up. I'm so surprised that trap play worked. I mean, the fact that KRU were on different pages, you know, some players were speeding up, the others actually able to get out in time.
Right.
I guess that might be the power of that chamber trip being so far back in that moment. Maybe there wasn't a window of opportunity to back up for some of these players in Dish, having to push all the way forward. And that's a huge round win for 100 Thieves to win off of one ultimate used. I mean, you say
ultimate and the trip.
Yeah, ultimate trip to win the round. That was it. Talk about efficiency.
I mean, the salvos played a big role in that as well. We're obviously simplifying it a bit, but you're absolutely right.
Oh, this Brim ult.
Speed up towards B here. There's the Brim ult that you were looking for.
Oh, Zenit is taken out.
Traded right back though.
Boostio's making so many loud steps. Mizzino gets a freebie. KRU turn up the heat right now. And they just overwhelm the B site completely. Now they're able to set up in this post plant. They've been doing a really good job of avoiding this cryocells operator.
I mean, and even with all the success that they've had this round, in case things do get a little hairy, you've got Adverso's ult, you've got Melser's ult. I mean, this round is done.
Yeah, I think right now 400 Thieves just trying to save these guns. Maybe go for exits.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but that operator being taken out of the hands of Cryo again. I think KRU have been doing a phenomenal job of not allowing Cryo to turn online. I think that is something that they failed to do against EG, which is obvious, right?
Right.
And it's just impressive to see adaptations being made in the micro things and just strategy, because they understand where Cryo is setting up this operator. It's been towards this A site most of the time. I think 100 Thieves have to do a better job of masking where that op is. They need to maybe use more utility behind it and then post them up there, rotate towards the other side of the map, and set up a trap play elsewhere. But the thing is with 100 Thieves on this map is a lot of their success is in these early round aggressive plays. They're not really ones to fall back and play a retake style. They kind of want to push the fight to you and win within, you know, the first 15, 20 seconds of the game.
Which, I mean, given the state of the game, that feels like the way you should be playing, right? If you're not leveraging your breach Centejo missiles at the beginning of the round on a 4-lane map, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think now this timeout, Zix is definitely going to be talking about, okay, how can we get this cryo cells operator more online? Maybe let's put him with our core team potentially and try to set him up. Try to get him some free kills of crew contacting in. To be fair, like I was saying, crew have been doing a good job of using layered utility to take space.
Sure.
You know, but it's just kind of show and go for them right now because once they find out where, you know, Asuna is, it's obvious that the operator isn't on that side of the map.
We'll see if they move him around on the other side of this timeout. I think for crew, you're right. They have figured a couple of things out. The layered utility that you were mentioning and scaling up behind it, and sometimes they're really pacey and explosive on it. They've been able to keep 100 Thieves kind of on a back foot, so to speak.
I'd like to see more trap plays from 100 Thieves as well. I mean, you saw how well that one worked on that thrifty, kind of scrappy buy that they had. If they kind of have more of those game plans in the mix, more trap plays, with the way that crew have been playing, they can really get punished.
Note here, Cryo will be popping his ult. And looks like he will try to take an aggro fight. Arcade?
Yeah, this is a peak that he did before, and salvo missiles were used in this spot of Gen and close spawn as well.
Yeah.
So remember, he might get punished for this.
Yeah, this will be the second opportunity at it. The drone will tag him.
Tail missiles too late, though.
Yeah, they're just a little too late. He's going to dip back into this. I thought he was going to land a shot on Asuna. Or excuse me, Kesnet, but he does fall anyway. Xander flushed out, forced to fight, forced to swing, and dies because of it. Meanwhile, the Vice Wall on the bottom side of the map has made things awkward, and it's made things disjointed for the defense.
Go, go, go!
This fight onto Shy is big. Holy smokes, him winning that out is insane! What? He gets both?
I mean, we said he's going to have to be the difference maker. He's going to have to deal with this aggression from the defensive 100 Thieves, and he's been doing that very well. He's been weathering that storm so good. And job's done now for him. All he has to do is hold. I mean, nothing 100 Thieves can do in this. It's a 4v2. So much utility. Yeah, Cryo gets this pick, but
Last player standing.
with Cryo dropping to adverse those Teo missiles, it's just rough. EU's going to have to save.
All done to take another gun out of their hands.
I have to point out, it's such good layered utility from the side of crew to deny Cryo anything. And you saw Cryo was even trying to punish, trying to get ahead of that smoke, trying to get the no-scope on the Kesnet.
Right, peek into the wall,
yeah. But the follow-up Teo ultimate to make sure that he can't do anything.
Yep.
I mean, this is the game plan. Just don't allow Cryo to have the time and the space to be able to find those opening picks.
Disrupting Chambers' timing and his pacing has proved to be effective for crew.
What a great game plan. Now, 100 Thieves, they're forced to have to change the pace, forced to have to do a topside crunch. Look at the Teo missiles.
We haven't
it's
seen
set up for Cryo.
Yep, and it's gonna tag him, do a little bit of damage, and they try to push on the other side, as you were mentioning. They're in such an awkward spot here. They're gonna have to continue to push through this fight, but don't really have much to fight back with. Still, through all of that, they get to a 3v2. A fight on the B side of the map, a fight towards A as well. And I think they heard a EU there, and if he didn't hear him, he certainly just saw the barrel of his gun. Shy's calling the rotation over here as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't have smokes, and you know that Cryo could be anywhere in this drop area. And with this free B site being accumulated,
Away with you.
Cryo's going to have to 1v3. And there's still a Vice Wall. It's going to give so much info to crew. They're going to be able to set up this post plant however they want. They can play ones. They can play together. But I kind of like this. That's not heard.
You're just trying to introduce as many possibilities, as many variables as possible.
Do crew read into this, though?
Yeah, I was going to say, even with that in mind, you still have to land the shots, and Cryo's not able to do so. Mazzino continues to perform at a high level for crew today.
Jeez. Just what good game planning from KRU so far on this attack side.
Yeah, they're abusing the chamber TP locations. You can tell they're drilled and they thought this through ahead of time.
Abusing the aggression that 100 Thieves are going to bust out. Like understanding when 100 Thieves will actually go for those plays, when it kind of feels like it's a little bit desperate in the server, right? A great read so far. And yeah, because Mazzino's been popping off so hard, he's going to have another Breach ultimate online here. This guy's farming ults like it's nothing.
Speed up towards A. How much do they bite into this? Because it was all a fake. Uh-oh. Adverso might be in trouble. Do they try to punish? Look at the reinforcements coming on the other side of the rope, but 100 Thieves don't pull the trigger.
Oh, they're going to Breach ult A main, and Kesnet's going to crunch from Dish.
There.
This is so sick. Let's see if the execution is there for KRU. Let's see if 100 Thieves can do anything about this Breach utility.
They might be sitting ducks. Waiting it out on the other side. EU has his ult too, but are you even going to get the breathing room to pop it? They've got to understand that the crunch is in play here, given what they just saw.
Off your feet!
The Rolling Thunder through, they're going to try to flood out behind it. The stun to delay Kesnet, so one half of the crunch is dealt with. And once again, an Armageddon invested.
Oh, shot getting taken out on the lurk, so it has to be a speed up at A. Has to be a commitment. And Asuna took so much control in Dish with that tail ultimate being used.
Took a lot of damage. Still lands the shots on Kesnet, gets the kill. Meanwhile, Adverso, a little slippery on the aim. You know, just spamming through smokes.
Yeah, what can he do?
Wrong.
Yeah, what can he do right now? I mean, shouldn't be able to win this, surely. Oh my goodness, Doug.
Nah, there's still a lot of work to be done here.
And he's getting flanked. I mean, if he takes out Cryo on this flank.
It's still a 1v2 that you have to face the side for with 15 seconds left. You could not convince me that this is possible.
He's doing it.
I refuse.
Oh, man.
That was closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Never doubted.
Got you sweating a little bit, huh?
No, all good. Never doubted.
Good damage done. But, you know, good reactions from 100 Thieves there to bait out that Breach ult and kind of react to not getting pinched from Kesnet and Dish. I like that Asuna isn't afraid to take all that aggressive space after that Armageddon is used. And at that point, I mean, KRU are just stuck, forced to run into A when Cryo takes out Shy on the lurk. So it's been pretty even. It's been a battle back and forth so far. It's some pretty good VALORANT we're seeing from both sides.
Which you would expect. I mean, both teams sitting at 3-1. One may be stronger than the other coming into it, but these are both teams that are looking to test their form heading into playoffs. And remember, seeding is considerable here, particularly for KRU. We're talking about a swing from first to fourth. Heavy lean towards B.
Yeah, and remind me, if you get first seed, you only need to win one game.
Kesnet popping the ult, speeding forward. Oh, Xander with a classic. Able to get the first, switches on to the second too. And now the Rolling Thunder. Spike still not out of heaven. Asuna, this is bold, spotting too. Oh, there's so many layers behind this as well. The flash, the dash. It's so clean. Shy 1v3. Okay, that's
Crazy
one.
shot on the first. It's going to be a double up here, though. This is going to be very difficult for Shy. He still has time. I mean, if he can grab this spike, he might be able to get out. I think it's too late now.
Oh, they're pushing him.
Oh, it's
Brother, how do you
too
do this?
hard. A miracle shot. Oh, his movement's so good,
30
though.
seconds
Chopping
left.
down, waiting for the bait.
What?
They're starting to swing up behind him. They give him his ones. They give him his ones, but EU settles and lands the final shot to secure the round for 100 Thieves.
I can't believe they gave him the ones like that. There's a real world in which Shy, of all players, hits that. He's the clutch king. Trying to run a player like that down. I mean, it works in your favor this time, but that is surely not the consistent play. Xander did a lot on this defensive side, anchoring this B site. And yeah, he got punished some of the time, but the fact that he was relentless, the fact that he never gave up and still stood in there strong, getting kills on the Kesnet with that, yeah, that was very close.
Yo,
He did 40 damage, he had a chance.
fakey on him.
Definitely had a shot to do it. First bullet just a little high. A 6-6 half between KRU and 100 Thieves. The second half of Fracture on the other side of this break.
Oh.
Huh, nature sure is full of wonders.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Right back into the action. Again, if you are just joining us, it was a 6-6 half between KRU and 100 Thieves. I think a lot of the focus around the discussion leading into this map was Cryo on Chamber. We saw how good he can be with it. Is he going to be able to perform the same way he had in the past? And so far, Dre, that has not been the case.
Yeah, it's because of Mizzino. I mean, the scorelines really tell the story here. The initiator utility completely nulling this Chamber out. But KRU, last time they played defense fracture, I mean, they got 11-1 by Loud.
There's a lot of focus towards the northern side of the map. You see that crunch coming in, and it's all going to be on EU to hold the line. Only one spotted, but he may have heard a little bit more gunfire. So yeah, he's going to give that space up. Meanwhile, Shy on the other side of the smoke, spotting Asuna, cleaning him up. And as the cover dissipates, he does fall. Speeding back out onto the site, Kesner trying to spam into it. Not connecting on anything. I don't know how Xander gets away with that. Kesner back site, Melser close by. The tap has started. Kesner's gotten it halfway. He's gonna stick it. There's really nothing to keep him back off of it. He takes it the entire way to get the pistol for KRU.
That reaction from 100 Thieves, it makes sense to want to get proactive because there's so many players retaking from Dish. But they went a little too far. That was it. You didn't have any utility, you didn't have any eyes on the actual spike itself. And to be able to stick the spike like this for KRU, I mean, you basically just gifted them around. That's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
14-9 for Mizzino. We talked about him a lot in the first half. He's going to continue to perform, you imagine. Meanwhile, for the attack, plenty of a lean towards B. They've taken hell as well. Kesnit's in a good spot to cause more problems.
Jeez.
Spotted his shoulder on a second, goes back into it. Ill-advised. Boostio lands an insane shot.
Some good damage done, though, for these Spectres and other Guardians to turn up. Should be some easy pickings here. Adverso, oh, almost gets caught in transition, but does take out Asuna. All the meanwhile, Cryo was taking this B main space, trying to bait out a lot of that Vice utility. There's still a wall onto Dish, and again, KRU, this must be their protocols against what 100 Thieves like to do. They're going to take top side of the map and push together as a unit. Shy, he's been so good on this anchor roll. He does get stunned here, though.
Yeah, he's got to figure out this 1v2 because the rest of his team is still rotating back over towards Dish, but he seems to have bought enough time. Gets the first onto Xander. Boostio falls. KRU get through that with a Bulldog, 2 Guardians, and a Spectre.
And I'm wondering now for 100 Thieves if they've realized, okay, KRU in the last 2 rounds, yeah, it's pistol. Yeah, it's anti-eco. They have pushed topside as a unit. 3-man pushing back-to-back rounds and kind of leaving Shy alone on this B side to anchor. I wonder if they're going to try to put somebody there maybe as a lurk or just try to fight it. Here we go.
Yeah.
But from the side of KRU, they're going to change things up now. They're going to be the ones fighting for this A main space.
Looking to set Kesnit up here. The Salvers will use it at the beginning, but no, Mazzino hasn't used his yet, so that they could fight on the second layer, and there it is. Some of that utility being dumped out. You hear the Tremor flush back out, the swing out from Kezen, it's insane. That's a gorgeous crunch, main.
Taking a page out of 100 Thieves' book, Doug. This is stuff that we see 100 Thieves do to teams on the defensive side. And look, all 4 members, just a complete hit squad, going underpass. They're leaving Adverso here alone, holding that B main. They're so confident that everybody from 100 Thieves is on site already.
Shy's gonna try to get up here as Bustio commits getting the plant down. Oh, yeah, that guy's still good. EU and Bustio, the 2 left, to try to keep back this attempted retake from KRU.
Just not aware of the proactivity, the movement.
Well, it's just so tough when you have so, you know, 1v4, even a 2v4 like that. Even if you get everything right, there's something that's left unchecked.
So much to worry about. What a very impressive round from KRU. The way that they are playing together as a cohesive unit and taking these fights together, clearing out all this space on the defensive side. It's something we talked about that's really good to do on this map of Fracture, right?
Yeah, I think even watching how they layered that breach utility is dope.
Yeah.
You know, you think about, oftentimes it's the stun with the missiles to catch a trap, right?
Yeah.
If you kind of get a free kill, something like that, you don't feel bad investing it because it's regen util. But they stagger it, right? There are layers to how they approach it. First, it is the missiles, and then you still have the stun for that exact crunch. And you mentioned it earlier, it feels like they're taking it right out of KRU's play, or 100 Thieves playbook, excuse me. That's exactly what, I mean, they've done it. I've seen that play from them.
Yeah, we saw it, we casted it. Yeah, exactly. 100 Thieves are left wondering right now. Where is this stack of KRU gonna be? Making some noise towards that arcade side of the map. It allowed KRU to shift over a little bit, but 100 Thieves want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Looks like they're gonna regroup with Cryo in A main, but now you're gonna have to run into all this Vice utility. Those Thorns are so powerful.
Stunned by a little bit of space. Do you scale up into heaven? You're at least gonna try. Asuna waiting on the other side. You mentioned some of the Vice utility. Has not really been problematic quite yet. Good. Hi, Melzer. What the? Like, what?
What is going on? Melzer is teeing off on 100 Thieves. What an animal. He just stimmed out by himself. Takes out so many.
See, this is the, you know, we talked about a KRU that needs to bounce back after the loss against EG.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's just a blip on their radar, whatever. This is what makes KRU so scary. This is why we think KRU have finally arrived to compete in a meaningful way. You've got Mazzino, who's insane. We talked about him a couple of times. Melzer just had a pop-off performance, 14-9 that round. They're winning without Kezen having to be the main carrier of the weight. Massive out from Asuna, though.
Yeah, good setup this time. A quick approach onto that arcade. And now this B site is free, but Mazzino is still alive.
100 Thieves in a really good spot, though, yeah, and it's going to go from good to even better as Mazzino gets cleaned up. Shy in a 1v4, 100 Thieves. Very nicely set up, and now take a look at the next couple of rounds. I mean, potentially even the next round. Their finances are in an awkward spot, but they should be able to get through this without dropping much. EU's 1 off of his ult. Bustio's 2 off of his ult. Xander has his ult. They've got a lot behind this punch in the next couple of rounds for the attacking side.
And they need it if they want to even the score up, right? And they need to do it cleanly as well, like you said. They should be able to do so. If I'm Shy right here, I'm sitting at 7 grand. I mean, I'm probably trying to go for as many kills as possible.
2 off of his ult, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. There's no reason not to.
Well, he's going to get a shot at it.
He made the correct call here. Let's see if 100 Thieves are aware. Let's see how many Shy can get, actually.
He hears them.
Surely good for 1. Oh, Bustio looks like he's wanting to clear this. And that's just tough. I mean, we've all been there. You hear all those footsteps. You think you're ready, but you're actually not, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get at least 1 here.
Yeah, Crisis avoided 400 Thieves, though. I mean, he definitely could have gotten more than 1 in that moment. It didn't look like players of 100 Thieves were quite ready for that, but here's that aggression in the beginning. I mean, I thought they nerfed the Neon slide accuracy, but it looks like Kezen and Asuna don't care whatsoever about that. That first bullet's still coming through.
I made myself move like a bug. I knew you'd get me by.
That must have been at the end. That must have been at the end against Shy, surely.
Okay, so again, a quick look at the situation for 100 Thieves. Look at all of the ults that they have online or are about to have online. They just procced the Vice Wall towards Arcade as well.
Yeah, now they're shifting back towards this A main. Xander was making a lot of noise here, maybe understanding that KRU might want to make an aggressive play here.
There's danger. Mizzino still has his wall, or his stun, excuse me.
Kesnet still has an op.
Now used. That's the first line that they've been able to cross by. They haven't really been able to do anything about this. Meanwhile, Adversal swinging into the flash as soon as it pops the ult. And now they've got so much more behind this. Breathing room for the attack.
It is so pressured right now. Asuna is running it down onto actual site. And they're getting crunched.
Kesnet falls. Mizzino from up in heaven again.
Spike.
Clean multi-kill out of him. And again, Shy left in a 1vx situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure if EU heard that little footstep. I think he did at the very last second. And the pace that 100 Thieves have approached these last 2 rounds has been so fast, so aggressive. And it's all started with Asuna. And they still have 3 ults in play. The movement in A main from Asuna pose so many problems and so many threats to KRU.
Yeah, I also think Adversal getting flashed really just kind of ruined that for him because he was supposed to be the one to swing in while Kesnet got pushed off the line, the off line.
Nice!
To be able to clean that up.
Thank you.
It's like operators in this map so far, in this series, haven't really been able to get value, but Melzer does against Xander, spamming him through the smoke in B main. No smokes for the attacking side is very difficult. All you have is that neon wall now. It kind of makes more sense to use that towards A from drop, because there's less things you have to clear out. The thing is A main will not be smoked. And if you look where KRU are on the map, they're in A main. This is going to be very difficult without having that Brim utility online. You might have to compensate and use some ults to actually get on the site itself. Something that you maybe wouldn't have rather wanted to do.
I think they're leaving Cryo to get a pick somewhere. Try to manipulate some rotation, try to alleviate some of this pressure. And he might just do it. They know it's just Cryo though. Still 3 towards B. They're not rotating off.
Yeah. This neon wall is the only cover that 100 Thieves are going to be able to get, and it's working for them. They're going to have control of the site.
Cryo has a lot to do here. If he can alleviate some of this, he's able to get one traded back though. Some work done. Still more to be found. The Rolling Thunder paving the way towards A. Traded right back though. And now the barrage of utility continues. The orbital strike from A.
25 seconds left.
Yeah, this staggered approach, this delay of all of these ults is really burning the clock. You're right.
We'll get the plant though, Asuna.
Asuna's got to do a lot. 1 kill found, now they know where he is. Can he connect on another? Time running out, off the swing. Boostio trying to help him. A dink on a Kesnet, some time bought. On the other side of the fault line, meanwhile, Liu trying to deal with what's potentially coming in from spawn. Side by side, trying to keep KRU back. The ult surely secures the situation. Liu left with 1, missiles out. Not gone to half yet, still has a stun, not really at a good angle to use it. Switches to the primary weapon. And Shy making his intentions known.
Yeah.
Wow. KRU get to 11.
That was a very disciplined retake from KRU. Seriously, I mean, Kesnet staying alive that entire time in A main, not allowing Cryo to get the trade onto him, not allowing Asuna to get the trade onto him. He did so much work, he pulled so much gravity on that retake that it allowed Mizzino the time to get his utility back. Yeah, that's just a nasty opener. But yeah, Kesnet getting these 2 kills were so impactful. It allowed for this retake to actually come through. And the discipline you have to not allow 100 Thieves to crawl their way back into that round with them committing the ults that they did. I mean, the Armageddon, the Breach ultimate of themselves.
Yeah.
It's very impressive for KRU. Like, and the discipline really shining.
And we've been talking about that for a little bit. They were sitting on a ticking time bomb, right? We were just waiting when our 100 Thieves going to blow these, because we know that those are massive ults in these rounds, and those are what could swing things back their way, but beautifully navigated by KRU.
You got to see the implications of your smokes player dropping early right there, right? You're kind of forced to go A, because that's the only site where the neon wall truly covers most of the chokes that you're going to get shot from or util bombed from. And that's just rough, because it forces you to have to use your ults more reactionary, ults that you would rather just use and win a round cleanly.
Right, of course.
So now 100 Thieves, they blow their second timeout. By the way, I don't think KRU have used a single timeout in this series.
No, I don't think so.
And that last half was very close. So They're very confident. I think Adam is very confident in the game plan that crew have instilled, understanding that they're in the driver's seat of this match. They're the ones that should be able to take this one home.
You were telling me Shy felt like after the loss last week, it was a wake-up call for them. They're prepped. I mean, you can tell, you saw it. A lot of the way they've approached this against Cryo, a lot of the way they've really handled 100 Thieves as a whole has been really impressive. Look at some of the early aggression towards the southern side of the map. Kesnet in a really nice spot. Gets ahead of the smoke, spamming through, but what's the second layer behind this? They're just going to try to fight it, and Asuna faces it.
Just complete brute force. Yeah, he got set up with a flash. Let's see if he gets the third on site. Takes all that tower control.
Shame.
Of course.
Shy. Nicely done to get one, but just not enough.
Great answer back to you. Does get the jump spot onto Adverse, so there's not much you can do when you're stuck in the chamber trip. What a reaction from 100 Thieves. It just seems like when 100 Thieves just hold W, they tend to win the rounds against crew.
Yeah.
When they deathball and Asuna gets supporting utility.
I do also think, at least for me, I feel like I have a lot of questions on why crew decided to approach that way, right? If you are going to do a southern side crunch, it felt like you were missing some of the early utility. You were just trying to get Kesnet into more of an aggro spot, but
yeah,
I felt like there were a couple pieces missing there.
Maybe just not ready for the adaptation that 100 Thieves made of sending more players than just Xander there. Maybe they understood, okay, Xander was here last round, we spammed him through the smoke. Maybe this time we can run him down with multiple members. If we get that punish again, we saw how easy the round win was when 100 Thieves didn't have any smokes on the field. But a great adaptation from 100 Thieves to kind of take that control back, take that space back, saying, okay, if it is just going to be Melzer running down and shooting through the smoke, maybe we could punish him ourselves. I mean, ends up getting 2 here. What is that?
Yeah, all right, I guess, and then stuff like that happens, yeah.
How does he do stuff like this?
You know, all of a sudden...
Vamos on 3. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos!
Why was it only 2 players doing it though, Doug? Why was it only 2 players doing it? Where's the team morale?
Fair question. 100 Thieves in a really good spot here. I mean, you take a look at the economy for crew, it's not great. Now, Adverso's ult is up, so you imagine that's coming into play into the next round, but...
Yeah, the only way you invest that early on is if you somehow get a couple picks.
Yeah,
I think Shy, I think Shy was heard backing off of drop here, and every single time this has happened for 100 Thieves, it's been a push arcade for crew.
Xander was right.
Wow. Now is where you start thinking, maybe I commit.
No, there's still...
The Armageddon.
I think you still need a little bit more.
There needs to be more delay for crew.
100 Thieves speeding up towards A.
I don't know if Thorns is enough here, Doug.
No, I think you're just delaying the inevitable here, and I think Austin recognizes that, trying to scale up a little bit to take these fights. Note it's just Shy with a weapon now. Mazzino's down, and I think that question about whether or not you invest it just kind of gets answered for you, no?
All 4 members pushed up towards spawn. This could... I was going to say it could be disastrous for crew, but wait,
What?
Armageddon is used?
One enemy remaining.
Oh, no.
Ready.
That's craziness. Just no value from that at all. Already down 4v2 when we pop that. 100 Thieves will win this round fairly clean. A reactive push into spawn on the post plant. And we just wasted our Armageddon on the side of crew. Maybe a little bit of nerves. Maybe, yeah, now there should be a timeout being put into play. Nice shot from Cryo there, by the way. Good reaction.
What did he see to...
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it was a 4v2 when he popped the ult, right?
Vamos,
Yeah, it was.
Vamos on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, vamos.
100 Thieves are happy with that one. That's for certain. Now crew are going to have to try to win a round without a very impactful ultimate. And Adverso, he is sitting at 6 and 15, so maybe just trying to get out of his head a little bit in this timeout would be a good thing for Adam to try to do, because that is rough. I mean, using it all in a 2v4 when you're on eco.
And getting no value out of it either.
Yeah. Something that you really wish you would have had. But you can't dwell on the past. You just have to look forward if you're crew. You're still in the lead right now. You have a healthy bye going into this next round. You're able to use your first timeout and make a plan to deal with this aggressive style that 100 Thieves have been doing in impactful rounds.
I feels like the snowball for 100 Thieves is coming to a fever pitch, man.
We saw what happened last time they had a lot of ults, though. Crew still ended up winning in that favor, so maybe that Armageddon being used to early, not too important.
This round feels like a swing round for KRU here. You kind of have to pull this one off. Your money's not great. 100 Thieves are knocking on the door of 11. They've got a couple volts that are in the vicinity.
It's a battle in A main as well.
Now, is it going to be the same idea? Is it going to be this layered approach where first you missile, then you stun? Asuna's already dead. A great opener out from Kesnet.
But a
traded
trade
back.
That's on a Messino.
Kesnet is just swinging and fighting with reckless abandon. 3 on the round.
Spike down
It was a desperately needed one for the defensive side, and they have delivered.
I got the spike.
Just guessing right with A main control. EU in a 1v3 situation here. He does have a lot of time to work with.
He just doesn't really have any personnel to go work it with.
If he can isolate a lot of these 1v1s,
that's a huge if.
yeah, he might be able to bring this one back. 400 Thieves. I mean, he's going to hope for that, right? He's going to hope that he can get these 1v1s against KRU. But with the way that KRU have been playing, the discipline that they've had, you know, bear the last round, it's you imagine it won't be easy for him. Even this approach. And Mauser still has smokes online. He still has a molly. If Kesnet really wants to, he can use those hot hands to get another slide in.
No, I do think the conversation
30 seconds left.
probably needs to turn toward. So if you're EU here,
Do you save?
you're what, halfway to your ult? No, surely not. But you're halfway to your ult. And so I think any value you can get out of it. I mean, think about this. He spikes, he gets a plant down, that's one ult pip, and then he assume he dies without getting anything else.
He didn't plant.
He didn't, yeah, he didn't plant. You're right. But he does die, so he gets a little bit closer to having the ult online. And again, that in my opinion is the swelling point here for 100 Thieves, but leaving one off kind of hurts.
And now, because you got punished like this so early on, are you kind of hesitant now to make an aggressive play? Do you play more methodical in this following round?
I don't think so.
It's kind of like a you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't situation, right? Because most of the half, your aggressive pushes have been to your success.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the minimap, the playbook is not changing at all.
All set.
Heavy lean towards B. The drone, you proc the wall. Where do they go off of this, though? This is where they've shown a couple of different looks.
I think now is a good time to slow down. Now is the perfect time to slow down, but they just want to extend it.
No, Asuna has his ult, Xander has his ult as well. If you get a little bit of a knowledge on where the majority of the defense is, you're dumping that ult. Asuna with a massive kill. Now ult popped, a second one found. I mean, if you're 100 Thieves in this situation, Xander dies, but you're going to carry that into the next, assuming you can convert. But a 3v2, still not out of the woodworks.
One enemy remaining.
That will help, but Verso's gotten it down to a 1v1. What is this? Can Adverso put them away? 80 HP, Asuna not much better off! Adverso with 3 in the map for KRU.
Wow, Adverso of all players in this series, stepping up huge. Yeah, he may have blundered his ult a few rounds back, but he clutches it to secure this first map win of Fracture. 100 Thieves map pick. Jeez. And it's so important for KRU, right? Getting that first seed, you only need one match to make it to Toronto. Ridiculous. KRU came in here with a great game plan. It was executed very well. Asuna, despite his heroics of getting multi-kills on the entry with the neon slides, just can't close out the 1v1 here, and we're in for a banger, huh?
Adverso gets 10 kills that map. Those last 3.
Remember, he was sitting at 4 when he used that Armageddon 3 rounds ago.
Those last 3 were easily the most impactful of the entire map.
Talk about clutch, stepping up at the right moments.
Unreal out from KRU, and you mentioned it. Now they're going to